What's going on, guys? Today's Tuesday, so we have another installment of How to Tuesday. And for today's episode, I'm going to be showing you guys how to wall ride fakie. Luckily, we're in Southern California where the ditches are plentiful, and we're at the 605 ditch that has a lot of different embankments and a lot of different obstacles where I can show you how to do this trick properly. All right, so prerequisites: bunny hopping, wall riding, 180ing, and faking. Why do all these help? Well, in order to wall ride, you need to be able to hop onto the wall. In order to wall ride fakie, you already need to know how to do wall rides and get tires on a wall. And then you're gonna be coming in fakie, so obviously you need to know how to 180, get in the fakie position, and roll out. I guess in theory, the 180 isn't as important as a fakie and a wall ride, but it always helps to just have that level of confidence knowing that you can 180 comfortably, and it puts you on a different platform, As for the final and probably most important prerequisite, make sure there's nothing in your pocket. I forgot about this, and look at here. I smashed my iPhone 6S Plus. So that means I gotta go to the AT&T store right after this how-to and get a new phone or get the screen replaced or something because I can't text anybody. Anyways, back to the tutorial. All right, so as I mentioned, you're gonna want to do a couple wall rides on wherever you're gonna be doing it first. I usually recommend learning this on a banked wall or on a wall that has a bank to it. Let me show you what a banked wall looks like. So this, my friends, is a banked wall. As you can see, it's not in the 90-degree range, it's more like in the 105-degree laid back position. And I would recommend trying to learn this trick on these banked walls because as you can see in these takes, it's a lot easier to get your bike not fully vertical and then not have to worry about a bank landing. So you're gonna wanna approach this wall like you would a traditional wall ride, except you're gonna wanna be vertical. One of the major elements of this trick is actually getting the bars on your lap. When you're actually on the wall vertically, you're gonna be very upright. So you're almost gonna be standing straight up. And when doing so, your legs are gonna be really uptight with the bars. That's the reason why my phone broke, is that it was in my pocket, it's really big, and when I slammed on the wall, the handlebars went right into my thigh and smash the screen. But hopefully you guys remember not to have anything in your pockets when doing this trick. Again, so approach the wall at a comfortable speed, hop on vertically, make sure the bars are in your lap, and then as you're coming off, you're gonna wanna hop off backwards, and then you're gonna want to basically tuck up the back end almost like into your butt, and then you're gonna be ready for the fakie. Usually out of a banked wall, you get pretty good pop and get a good fakie going. All right, so once your fakie wall ride game is pretty strong on the banked wall, the next thing is to find a wall ride that has a bank up to the wall. And while this is gonna be a little scarier than doing it on the banked wall, it's actually gonna be a lot easier because you can actually go higher on the wall, feel more comfortable, and then have more pop, and then land in a bank transition that's actually gonna help you fakie. All in all, it is, like I said, a little scarier, but you will learn it a lot more confidently and take it to like new levels and do tricks in and out of it. All right, so approach the wall ride like you would a traditional wall ride. Get a few under your belt, and then once you're ready, you're gonna wanna approach the wall ride and make sure that you're going in a vertical position. Once you're vertically on the wall, the fakie part is just like you did on the banked wall. You're gonna wanna tuck up your back end, but this time not as much since you're actually gonna be landing in a transition. Once you do so, your front wheel will almost like nose wheelie off the wall, and then you can just spot the landing, fakie, and then turn around. All right, the last and most difficult is on a straight vertical wall with no bank. And this is where I broke my phone, as you can see. Well, there goes my phone. I did the wall ride, I was pretty upright, and my phone was in my pocket. The bars were really in my lap, and it just pressed on the screen and smashed it. Avoid this. All right, so for the vertical wall, you're gonna wanna do a couple wall rides where you're basically wall riding in between. So you're not going on a wall ride in a rainbow, you're not going to vertical, you're going like right in the diagonal, so almost like a 45-degree wall ride. As you get more and more comfortable, you can start doing the wall ride a little more erect until you're ready to put both tires on the wall. Once you're on the wall, you're gonna be pretty vertical. Since this wall is vertical and there's no bank landing, you really have to get good spring off the wall and then tuck up your tire a lot more than on either the bank wall or landing in the bank. If you don't do so, as you can see from some of these takes, your back tire will catch and you could flip over and, I mean, hopefully not, but you could smack your back or your head. So be careful when doing that. Again, approach the wall, get vertical, make sure the bars are in your lap, make sure there's nothing in your pockets, and then pull off. Make sure your back tire gets tucked up, like near your butt, and then get ready for the smaller fakie. Usually off a wall like this, you don't get the best spring, but it's still possible to get like a decent fakie. As you get more comfortable with the trick, you'll be able to like really spring off the wall and make it look really good. All right, as far as troubleshooting goes, most people have a fear of the trick, so that's really the basic gist of it. They're not committed to like getting vertical, or once they do get vertical, they're afraid to land on their back or on their head. So they like don't fully commit and just kind of like get into like a jumbled mess. So the best approach is just to be confident, know that you can wall ride, know that you can get vertical on the wall, and the rest is just really tucking up your tire like close to your butt. And the rest is just really knowing that all you have to do is fakie and then tuck up your tire into your butt and you'll be fine. Anything else is really just like maybe going too slow and not getting high enough on the wall, or you're going too fast and you're like actually rolling on the wall and that's keeping your momentum on there, so you want to work on that. You really just want to kind of like stall both tires and then roll out. All in all, the trick is super fun. Like I said, it's a little dangerous. It's costing me a phone today, but it's all good. Be careful when doing so. I really recommend for you younger kids to learn this trick with a helmet, and yeah, have fun with it. I've done a couple variations, fakie bars, fakie turn down, stuff like that. I actually have to go replace my screen now, or else I would have done that. But it's a super fun trick, and you'll be able to get it in no time. Pretty soon after you learn the vertical tires, then you can learn vertical smiths, vertical double pegs, vertical feebles, ice picks, I don't know. It's endless. But like always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's any questions, leave them in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to your boy. All right, guys, have a good one and tune in for tomorrow's vlog. Peace. Hey, what do you want?
It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it.